You?
No, I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post presser or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, "It's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna notice that."
But wow, my eyes was burning, and you know, like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I ain't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis are now gearing up for their rematch after their initial face-off, and tensions have been high throughout their recent meeting. They came together to settle the final details for the fight, and also held a short press session where each took turns answering questions from the interviewer.
Whoa. That's when he tried biting. I ain't even noticed that till somebody said something. Somebody said he tried to bite me. I ain't know.
Why not? What you talking about? They like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I was like, oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing works.
The tension escalated as Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach exchanged relentless shots at each other. While it never turned physical, the trash talk was intense. Lamont kept stressing that he's unlike anyone Tank has faced, warning him not to talk big about beating him. Tank fired back, claiming that on rematch day, Roach would be knocked out cold, prompting Lamont to reply, "It's going to be a firefight. I'd break you down."
Talking about it.
Oh, whoa. Of course, another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but
Nah, that's crazy. That's what he do. He get dirty. He know that he.
Since their fight, Lamont Roach has appeared multiple times on the Big Time podcast, insisting he deserved the win instead of the bout ending in a majority draw, keeping talk of their rematch alive. He's also been active on social media, and on March 18th, he posted something that clearly irritated Tank's fans, likely exactly what Roach intended.
No, I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post presser or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, it's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna notice that.
On some real stuff, why are some of you mad just because a lot of people think I won the fight? I'm confused, gang. What's going on? Did I do something to you guys? He wrote on X in a post that has racked up over 21,500 views and 425 comments in under 2 days. This is a clear example of a fighter baiting an opponent's fan base to generate hype. And with Davis fans flooding the comments, it's worked perfectly. On the Come and Talk to Me podcast, Roach also revealed how he tried to call Tank after the fight over a bet reportedly made between them before the bout.
Amazing. So Lamont, I watched your feedback. You broke it down round by round. There was this one part in this video that was kind of going viral the other day where you said it looked like Tank was trying to bite you. Yeah. I'm like, what was that? Like, did you notice that in the moment? I saw you said that in your, in your feedback. What was that moment?
Look, man, I'm going to tell you. I called his phone. Maybe he changed his number or something because I didn't get a response. Maybe he's busy. I even DM'd him saying, "I called you. Call me back." I didn't talk about the money, just wanted him to call back. On Saturday night, Gervonta Davis retained his WBA lightweight title in the closest of contests, settling for a majority draw with Lamont Roach Jr. Despite a controversial ninth-round moment that could have handed Davis his first career loss, the unbeaten 30-year-old southpaw, nicknamed Tank, finally exhaled after the final scores were revealed following a tightly contested 12-round fight packed with back-and-forth action.
Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores about 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
One ringside judge scored the fight 115-113 for Davis, while the other two had it even at 114-114, keeping the three-weight champion from Baltimore unbeaten. The big controversy came in the ninth round when Davis voluntarily took a knee near his corner, leaning over the ropes, apparently seeking help for an eye issue. According to boxing's unified rules, any part of a fighter touching the canvas, besides their feet, counts as a knockdown, which could have cost Davis a point or even led to disqualification due to corner interference. Referee Steve Willis, however, let the fight continue after a firm warning, a decision that likely changed the result. A sold-out crowd of 19 to 250 at the Barclays Center voiced their disapproval when Davis later claimed his vision was impaired by grease from his hair. "It should have been a knockdown," Roach said.
Bite you, like, cause we right there. But when I actually went back and looked at the fight, I was like, this motherfucker really did try to bite me. Like, that's what at least that's what it looked like. You can ask him, or you can, if you play the clip and you look at it, it definitely looked like he just tried to bite me and missed or some shit. Like, oh, bit is good.
"If that was a knockdown, I would have won the fight," Roach said. He's saying grease got in his eye, but if he takes a knee and the ref counts, it should be a knockdown. "It is what it is. I'm not relying on that to win. I just thought I did enough to pull it out." Granted special permission to defend his WBA title at 130 Aldoribes while facing Davis at 135, Roach came up just short in his attempt to claim a world championship in a second weight class against a highly favored opponent. Davis took a knee in the 9th round during their fight, but Roach felt he had the edge in the final 3 rounds. "I was landing some clean shots and breaking him down as the fight went on, but he kept coming, so I stayed cautious and avoided mistakes," Roach explained.
And I don't know. But that was crazy. So when he told me that, I was like, nah, he ain't trying to bite me. Y'all tripping. But when I looked at it, I was like, damn, they tried. And then even
trying to bite you where? Pause.
On his neck.
like
you
like
seen
my
it?
neck,
Yeah.
like ear.
I didn't notice. I seen it hit you with a shoulder one time.
He tried to put his glove up. He tried.
From the very start, Roach showed no fear of the heavily favored champion. The 29-year-old from Washington, D.C. stayed calm in the early rounds, using movement and counterpunching to keep Davis from finding his rhythm. Davis, known for being a slow starter, spent the first few rounds feeling things out, with his usual patience almost tipping into inactivity. Roach took advantage, landing sharp right hands and winning most of the early exchanges. Their history as former amateur rivals seemed to benefit Roach, who looked confident and composed even as Davis increased the pressure in the middle rounds. A powerful right hand in the 6th signaled the champion's awakening, but Roach held his ground. In the 7th, he stunned Davis with a straight right, forcing the champion to clinch. With supreme confidence, Roach dictated the pace, landed more combinations, and turned what many expected to be a one-sided fight into a hard-fought battle.
Up and you see his face.
Yeah, like,
Oh, niggas wild.
nah, it was crazy.
Oh, niggas.
It was crazy.
Did you see that, Naj, too? You seen that?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the moment, but when I looked at the replay, I'm like, damn, this vampire in Brooklyn right now. It's a little suspect.
I think the commentator said something about that.
Yeah, they said something about it too. Like, they was like, here's another comparison that Mike Tyson, like.
In the 8th round, Roach landed a huge counter right uppercut that briefly wobbled Davis, showing he could take the champ's best shots and respond. Then came the controversial 9th, when Davis took a knee after a left from Roach that didn't seem fully impactful. Whether due to fatigue, a misplaced mouthpiece, or something else, it should have been ruled a knockdown. But referee Willis only gave a warning, letting Davis recover. Frustrated, Davis came out swinging, landing heavy shots, but Roach absorbed them and kept pressing. By the championship rounds, Davis was lunging and throwing wild punches that Roach expertly countered. In the 11th, Roach finished the round with a sharp counter right, outworking a visibly frustrated Davis. With 3 minutes left, Davis, known for his late fight heroics, tried to force Roach into a mistake, but Roach stuck to his plan, making Davis miss and landing just enough to maintain control.
You know, that's how boxing works. I'm not, like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a...
Both fighters immediately called for a rematch. "I want to run it back for sure," said Roach, who landed 112 of 400 punches, or 28%, compared to Davis's 103 of 279, or 36.9%, according to CompuBox. "I'll be back on the grand stage where I belong." Davis admitted it was his own subpar performance that made the fight close, not anything Roach did. To be honest, I really made it competitive. Lamont is a great fighter with skills and punching power. It was a learned lesson. Shout out to Lamont Roach and his whole team. Hopefully, we can run it back.
I heard that 114. I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
A rematch between Davis and Roach appears likely after their first encounter, with an official announcement expected in the coming weeks, and the fight reportedly set for May or June. The New York State Athletic Commission upheld the majority draw result from their first bout following a controversial 9th round, according to a ruling obtained by ESPN. The commission denied Roach's protest, noting that the fight continued for more than 3 full rounds after the referee ruled no knockdown. And since both fighters adjusted to that decision, the call was not considered outcome determinative.
The part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that.
Davis, one of boxing's biggest stars, took a knee in the 9th round after a series of punches from Roach. Referee Steve Willis began a count, but stopped at 3 and didn't rule it a knockdown. The commission's ruling stated that, after reviewing the footage, the most appropriate call would have been for the referee to consider Davis's knee on the canvas a knockdown. However, the decision was ultimately within the referee's authority. The ruling also noted that even if a knockdown had been called, it's impossible to know how it would have affected the final 3 rounds.
So,
but you said you don't think he willing though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
The commission noted that speculating on alternate outcomes would be misplaced, and setting such a precedent wouldn't guarantee a correct result or serve boxing's best interests. The ruling stated that if Willis had called a knockdown, Roach would have won by decision. Instead, the WBA junior lightweight champion settled for a draw while attempting to become a 2-weight champ. A potential upset, given Davis, was a -20,000 favorite per ESPN bets. Roach and his team remain disappointed with the outcome and the commission's inaction, but are grateful for public support. Roach's attorney, Gregory M. Smith, told ESPN. Roach is confident a rematch will end in his favor, and until then, he remains the people's champion at 135 LEBs.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref.
Time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
Davis of Baltimore explained after the fight that he took a knee because grease from a hair treatment burned his eyes. He was also allowed to have his corner wipe his eyes with a towel, which is normally prohibited during a round since only the referee can stop the action. Davis's in-ring IQ is often underrated. He usually studies opponents in the early rounds, but he never seemed to find his rhythm against Roach. After the fight, Roach received strong support, with his friend and Davis rival Shakur Stevenson praising his performance and even offering to be his next opponent. While that matchup makes sense, a rematch with Davis is what fans want most, especially after Roach showed that Davis might not be truly unbeatable.
I know something funny. When we were talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
Roach, a former amateur rival of Davis, deserved the spotlight after handing Tank a -1,600 favorite, the first blemish of his pro career in their controversial majority draw at Barclays Center. The commission said Monday that a requested video replay couldn't be completed due to a technical issue. The 29-year-old Roach from Washington, D.C. remains the WBA 130 LBS title holder and is ranked 6th at lightweight by ESPN, while 30-year-old Davis is ESPN's top lightweight and 8th pound for pound. The highly anticipated rematch between Davis and Roach has captured boxing's attention, with Ryan Garcia, who fought Davis in April 2023 and lost via 7th-round TKO, weighing in on the outcome as he follows both fighters closely.
And shit on nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight
I don't like knockouts, like punishment. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things got to happen to make you get back to where you belongs at. You know what I'm saying? And that was a good, skillful ass.
To a split decision win for Lamont Roach. He was robbed. The knee hitting the canvas should be a knockdown. The face getting wiped should be a DQ. They didn't use replay, apparently. And we're going to talk to Keith Eidick about all this, but there is replay in New York. And a fight that was kind of viewed as an afterthought would now be a gigantic rematch and one of the biggest upsets of the past, 10, 15 years, 16-1 is gigantic.
It was expected to be just another routine night in the ring for Gervonta Davis and his team. From the moment his fight against Lamont Roach was announced, Team Davis seemed calm and confident. Roach was a familiar opponent with a solid record, and although he held a title, he was seen as the smaller fighter going into the matchup.
Did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught.
17, viewed as a major underdog, Roach fought like he had something to prove. From the start, he showcased excellent outside boxing, and when Davis forced him into close-range exchanges, he handled it with ease. By the final bell, fans at Brooklyn's Barclays Center were stunned. After 36 minutes of non-stop action, no one was sure who had won. As the scores were announced, Team Davis waited patiently, only to have their smiles fade when their fighter was handed a majority draw.
This fight, skillful. Both of them want to take certain chances. Some of them take chances. You get what I'm saying? It was like we was on a boat and it was just like this.
For the first time in his professional career, Davis left the ring without an official win. Backstage, he slumped into his chair as his team, including Barry Hunter, shook their heads in disappointment over the decision. Their March matchup with Roach had been a tightly contested fight that sparked heated debate over the judge's ruling. With a rematch on the horizon, Ryan Garcia has already shared his prediction, raising anticipation even higher. The first meeting between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach was far from easy for Davis, as Roach pushed him through 12 tough rounds and challenged him every step of the way. The 9th round stood out as especially controversial when Davis voluntarily took a knee, but the referee did not count it.
In case you don't know, in boxing, you take a knee, that's considered a knockdown. You cannot call time. And you know what you also can't do? You also can't go to your corner mid-round and ask them to wipe your face. Ask them to do anything. You can't get a swig of water. You can't do this. You cannot do that. But that all happened. And so the referee for this fight is a legendary referee. Steve Willis, you have probably seen him in GIFs. He's got...
The judge's decision, with 1 card for Davis and 2 scoring it even, mirrored the controversy of the fight. Not counting the 9th round as a 10-8 in favor of Roach cost him the chance to claim the WBA lightweight title. With a rematch set for this summer, expectations are higher than ever. In an interview with ES News, Ryan Garcia shared his prediction for the upcoming fight.
Now you've probably seen it all over social media. And then he stops counting and the fight resumes. That should have been a 10-8 round for Lamont Roach. Or if you scored that a 10-9, then it's a 9-9. Point being, the fight ends in a majority draw. If you look at the scorecards, there they are. You got a 114-114. You got another 114.
Garcia's insight, drawn from his own experience facing Davis, adds extra intrigue to the rematch. He believes Davis underestimated Roach in their first fight and will bring greater intensity and determination the next time they meet. For the latest updates on boxing news, highlights, events, and action, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications so you never miss content like this.